Okay, I think we are fully present, which is wonderful. So welcome everybody. Chag Sameach, happy Hanukkah. My name is Rabbi Ilana Friedman. I know many of you, and I'm delighted to be here with you. I'm the campus rabbi at Duke University, here with Jewish Life at Duke's Hanukkah celebration. For those of you who don't know, every night of Hanukkah, we are celebrating together with a candle lighting with a special guest from across the university each night. And I hope you'll join us for every night, but this first night is a great one to start with. We're super excited about it. Jewish Life at Duke, as all of you know, is the home for Jewish students on Duke's campus, for faculty, for staff. We hope to create a meaningful Jewish experience for all of you, and we hope that you'll join us for all 8 nights to continue the spirit of Judaism, the spirit of Hanukkah all together. It has been a long semester and a tough year, and Hanukkah gives us the message of light in the darkness. So we're going to celebrate even the smallest light, even that first light tonight, with our special guest, which is Coach Scheyer. So I don't need to go too detailed by introduction because I think most of you are here for Coach Scheyer, although I know we all love Hanukkah, but we also love Coach Scheyer. Coach Scheyer is the associate head coach of the Duke men's basketball team, is a former Duke All-American as a player, and was part of the 2010 NCAA championship Duke basketball team. And recently, the big news, at least in my world, and I think for your world too, Coach Scheyer, was as the head coach for the U.S. men's basketball team for the Maccabiah Games, which is taking place in Israel in the year 2022. So looking like it could actually happen, which is big news to have you as the head coach for our team. So that is super exciting news. And I should note also, Coach Scheyer played basketball in the NBA D-League and played in Israel and also in Spain, and has lots of great experience in Israel and stories from growing up, playing basketball all over. And we're so excited to have him here because most noteworthy is that you're an awesome coach on the basketball team and be so successful. So we're gonna throw it over to Coach Scheyer in a moment. First, before we do and get into the nitty gritty of lighting candles, Coach Scheyer, we gotta know, show us your menorah and tell us the story behind it.
Well, first of all, happy Hanukkah to everybody that's on here. You left off Rabbi Friedman, and with all due respect, the great games that I have versus our managers, and there's a couple guys on here we've battled and competed the last few years. So shout out to these guys that are on here. But happy Hanukkah. You know, this is my candle just fell. Excuse me, that's not good. That's not a good start. But this is my menorah, and the story behind it for me is, you know, I have 2 young kids. I have a daughter who's 2.5. Her name is Noah. My son Jet just turned 1 in August. And my wife and I, my wife Marcel, we got this menorah when we got married. And we actually talked about sharing and teaching Hanukkah to our kids. This is the first time she's old enough to understand a little bit what Hanukkah is about. So very excited to share this. Hopefully we'll get her on to light the menorah as well soon. So very excited to be here.
Awesome. It's a beautiful menorah. Will you hold it up again for us to see? It looks really quite intricate.
Yeah, so it's too fancy for me, Rabbi, but I just, you know, my wife loves it. I go with the flow.
You deserve only the best. Only the best. So we're gonna light candles. So Coach Scheyer, if you'll, and folks at home, if you'll light your shamash, the tall candle. And I'm going to share my screen because that's, of course, what we need to do when there is a blessing to be said. Oh, and I see Noah in the screen right there helping light. What a beautiful sight that is. And I'm going to sing the blessings for us as you'll light your shamash at home. And then as we sing, I know it's a little bit delayed, but we'll light that one candle as we sing the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam
asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
Lahadlik ner
Hanukkah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
Eloheinu Awesome. I am
Now the third blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'echiyanu v'kiyanu v'hihiyanu lazman hazeh. Amen. Chag Sameach.
Okay.
Wow, that family picture right there. Coach Scheyer, is this Noah and Jet?
This is Noah, and this is Jet. Can you say hi?
Say Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Beautiful. So Coach Scheyer, tell us a little bit about what Hanukkah means to you.
Well, for me growing up, Hanukkah, we spent really every Jewish holiday, but especially Hanukkah, going to my grandmother's house, with my extended family and being together. And obviously, just looking at the screens, I think for all of us, this is unique this year doing it this way. And you want to get down? Okay. She's had enough. We're still teaching. We're still learning. But I think for me, Rabbi, I think about the word hope, and I think you have to put a lot of things in perspective. And I'm hopeful that next year we'll be together with family. I'm hopeful, for my kids' future, for all of us that's on here, and for in our lives. I'm hopeful for the future. I just think that's important as for the first time I'm teaching my daughter, and I'm even remembering some things that I learned when I was a little kid. And, I think it's important to have hope. And so that's what I'm thinking about tonight. I hope all of you are as well. And hopeful, again, it's great to be with you all, but hopefully we're, it's different circumstances, moving forward.
Oh, that's a great message and a good reminder for all of us as we enter into this Hanukkah season. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I'm also going to say if there's a question from folks who are out there that want to ask Coach Scheyer a question, throw it in the chat. Maybe we'll ask a couple of questions before we wrap up. But I've got some really, really important Hanukkah questions for you that people, I'm sure, are dying to know. So the first question is latkes or jelly donuts?
For me, I would go latkes. That's just me though. That's just me. Latkes.
That's okay. That's what we need to know. These are hard-hitting questions. I'm sure you get grilled all the time with really important questions from the press. So I'm going to continue with more important questions. Number 2, sour cream or applesauce?
I'm actually going applesauce. So I'm going, I see some, I actually got more nods on that than the last one. People didn't seem happy with my first answer. So I'm definitely going applesauce.
Okay, that's fair. I'll allow it. Even though I disagree, but that's okay. Dreidel for fun or dreidel for money?
Can I say dreidel for money? I mean, come on, of course.
There you go. Now we know the answer. All right. For Hanukkah, do you want socks or do you want some Hanukkah gelt, the good chocolate gelt?
Like I'm going with gelt. I mean, I've tried to eat better, but some good chocolate I could definitely go for. Definitely.
Noted. And then the really important question that's a huge debate in the Jewish community. Do you spell Hanukkah CH or with an H?
So I used to go CH. I've converted to going just the H. So I don't, again, I'm not sure if I feel good about that, but I do go with just the H right now.
Okay, we'll see if you change over time. I'll monitor your emails from here on out.
Exactly, it's constantly changing.
Awesome. What's the best Hanukkah present that you've ever received?
Man, that's a great question. I've gotten some really good ones, fortunately. Nothing that jumps out at me. You shocked me with that one, Rabbi. I didn't know you were going to hit me with that one.
Got you.
Yeah, you got me finally.
Well, here's the better version of it, I think. What's the best Hanukkah gift that you've given?
Yeah, well, I would say, tonight we're actually giving my daughter a book, and it's teaching her a little bit about the history of her faith. And so I think that's probably the best one. We're one for one. It's night one. Hopefully, by the end of, Hanukkah, a couple of years from now, there'll be a more exciting one. But I think for now, that's a good start.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We have a question in here about what do you think the best Hanukkah/Christmas movie, the holiday season movie is?
Oh man, that's.
I don't even know if there are
I'll
Hanukkah
tell you what.
movies.
I'd rather get a press conference talking about basketball. These questions stump me. Like these are some hard. These are hard questions for me right here. But I would say favorite. I mean, look, I think Elf is a classic for me. Good comedy. Can't go wrong with Elf. I'm
Yeah.
a softie. I'll probably get made fun of by, the both the Jeremys on here for this one. But Love Actually is, as a family or, with the wife is a great one right there, I think. So I'm probably missing a bunch, but I would say those two right there.
I admit that I had never saw Love Actually till last year, and I finally watched it, and it didn't age exactly well.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I was a little surprised. I was like, this is acceptable, but okay.
I'm trying to think of the other Christmas or Hanukkah movies out there, but
Those are good answers that you gave. I like those answers. I'm a fan of Elf as well. I like that.
yeah.
And tell us a little bit. I know this is not I'll let you get into your comfort zone a little bit. Like any insight on the season, the basketball team this year? This is such a weird year in so many ways. So how are you feeling? Where are you at?
Yeah, it's been incredibly unique is an understatement, and you have to really focus on what your job is, and I'm saying for us as coaches, our players, our managers, our staff, because there's a lot of distractions, and I don't know how many of you have been to games in Cameron Indoor Stadium, but the first four games we've had have been it's surreal walking in, and really the teams are the only people in there. And I've been lucky now to probably being close to 200 games in Cameron and never seen anything like it. And I think it's taken some adjusting. You really is the kind of thing. It's no excuses. You have to figure it out. But I think we've done as good of a job, Rabbi, as at keeping our players safe, our family safe. Following all the safety protocols. And then I think we've seen the last couple of games, we have a lot of work to do. We need to take better shots, and we need to figure out how to score together. And frankly, it's fun talking about the basketball side of things because we've spent so much time talking about COVID and how to handle it and what to do. So, the guys were great today in practice. We have a lot of work to do, like I said. But we have a long season ahead of us. So, knock on wood, I think we're in a good place right now, following up from our game versus Illinois.
That's good news. And I think the story of Hanukkah is a story of fighting and triumph. So just know that we're all depending on you specifically to help us win and triumph this season and in the future. And let the Maccabees be your inspiration, right? Like you got to be strong and keep fighting, right?
No, I actually think that's true though, where you do have to be strong, and it's very easy to say, well, COVID, it doesn't really count the way it normally does, or you have a built-in excuse, and so you need to be even tougher and strong-minded. Where let's figure out a way to win, let's figure out how to succeed and come together. And I think the thing that our players have done, they've responded great so far from two losses that we've had. Losing is never fun. You hate losing, and you have to figure out how to bounce back. But we're gonna make it happen.
That's awesome. And before we head out, because I know this is a brief Hanukkah lighting each night, which is, it's hard for all of us who are big Duke fans. We have Cameron, our students can't tent and all these different things. How can we show up for you and for the team and show our support this season?
Well, first of all, I think that's a great question, and thanks for bringing that up. I think the thing that I wish everyone could have the perspective on is what our players go through, what our guys go through on and off the court. And, like I could tell you after losses, the amount of messages that our guys get that are negative and just really, really bad messages, like really bad messages. And, they're 19 years old, they're 20 years old. And so just any acknowledgement and any messages of just showing support goes a long way. These guys are away from their families. They're, by themselves right now. We actually have changed our schedule around to give them a break for the holidays to go home for 4 or 5 days. So we've been able to make some things happen with our schedule. But that's what I would say. Anytime, you see one of our guys or, want to message them, they're pretty accessible, whether it be on social media these days. It's easy to get in touch with anyone. That goes a long way. And I would just say that.
That's awesome. Good
Yeah.
advice for all of us to follow. Let's show our support, even from afar, for our Duke men's team. And also for you in the future with coaching the U.S. men's team in the Maccabiah in 2020. That's such huge news. So we're really excited. Mazal tov to you on that.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us and for lighting candles with us tonight. Pleasure to have you. We're so blessed to have you in our community and to be such a model Jewish member. So we're just grateful for you and for all the work that you've done and for the impressive things that you've done for Duke and for our community. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Happy Hanukkah, everybody. Hopefully everyone says night one was the best, after this is all done. So just keep that in mind, but happy Hanukkah and, enjoy with your families.
Amazing. Thank you again, Coach Scheyer. And thank you to everyone for joining us. Tomorrow night is Shabbat. So we're going to light Hanukkah candles and then Shabbat candles with me. And then we've got so many great guests this week. Young night is Saturday night. Sunday night, we have Provost Kornbluth, and Monday night, Professor Dan Ariely, and the list goes on. So please join us for as many lightings as you can, and wishing everyone a Chag Hanukkah.